What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro and the rumors that are out there that we're gonna get a PlayStation 5 Pro. How do I feel about this? Well, as an Xbox fan, as someone that mainly plays on Xbox, this presents a very unique situation because I do like the power narrative. I gotta be honest with you, I do. That's the main reason I went with the Xbox Series X is because I believed in the power narrative that was more powerful than the PS5. Now I had to learn the hard way that teraflops, and even though people were comparing the Xbox Series X to PC graphics card, none of that matters if the developers don't use the power of the actual hardware. When it comes to the PS5, because it had a bigger player base, it seemed at least as if that was the reason why developers were mainly focused on making sure their games ran well on the PS5 and then got ported to the Xbox Series X. And I believed that for a long time. I guess the only thing that put a little blip in that statement is the fact that Xbox themselves didn't use the full power of the Xbox Series X. Because Redfall dropped at 30 frames and so did Starfield, it dropped at 30 frames. And I remember the first time I saw New Atlantis in Starfield, I couldn't believe my eyes that this game had a city like New Atlantis that looked that horrible and only ran at 30 frames. I remember seeing that, right? I have no reason to lie to you, even though this is a pro Xbox channel and I just like Xbox. So the conundrum that I have is that I really like the Xbox ecosystem. That is really something that I really like. And I really like Game Pass. I am a huge Game Pass supporter. I play probably 90% of my games are coming from Game Pass, and I'm okay with it. I don't care if you say I'm renting games. I don't care if you think you're better than me because you own your games. It makes no difference to me. So, a console like the PS5 Pro being a way more powerful, giving me what I originally wanted as far as every single game running at 60 frames is very appealing. And to be fair, if you're a PS5 owner, all of their first party games Sony has delivered with their games as far as giving you that 60 frames. There hasn't been a PlayStation game that has been released at 30 frames. Correct me if I'm wrong. But games like Gotham Knight both came out at 30 frames on both consoles, which I'm gonna make a video about Gotham Knight because I just finished the game and I actually enjoyed the game. But I played it on half on PC, half on the Xbox Series X. Well, mostly on PC, a little bit on the Xbox Series X. But regardless, this PS5 coming out still comes back to the same thing that the PlayStation fan base said was the reason why we would never see the power of the Xbox Series X. Remember, the PlayStation fan base said that the reason we're never going to see the power of the Xbox Series X is because the Xbox Series S exists. So that console is going to hinder how much Microsoft could actually do with these games because they got to make sure that the games run on the Xbox Series S. Now, the Xbox Series S throughout the years, I've talked a lot of trash about the Xbox Series S to the point where I had to come out and stop for a little bit. But it is what it is, and I understand. Yes, it's the developer's fault, all that other stuff, right? But the Xbox Series S, I also acknowledge, has made it so that it's a low entry point and it's almost as if you can develop for the Xbox Series S, you can develop for anything. And then hence the Steam Deck came out, Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go, and now the MSI Claw is going to come out. So because we have a baseline development tool like the Xbox Series S, it's almost like okay, everything can run. We're gonna these developers are gonna make sure these games run on everything. And that's why we probably haven't seen a huge major graphical leap, right? Hellblade 2 might be it. We'll see what it looks like when we see it in person. I know people are getting excited over the screenshots that they saw, but we'll see what it looks like when we see it in person. But because of what the PlayStation fan base said about the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series X. That's why I think the PS5 Pro, you have to be very cautious with it. Because the PS5 Pro means that they still have to develop games for the PS5. And even if you remember when the PS5 came out, they were still developing games for the PS4, right? So Horizon Forbidden West runs on the PS4. It runs phenomenal on a PS5 and it looks great on a PS5, but it runs on a PS4, which means they had to look at the PS4 as its base. So now if they make a PS5 Pro, the PS5 then becomes the base. So 45% faster or whatever it is that they're saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If you want power, the one thing I got to give the ponies that they were right about the beginning of this generation and so forth, so on and so forth. If you want power, make sure you get the power you want and go PC. That's the only sure way, because the consoles are still going to be closed systems. Unless the PlayStation 5 is a system where somehow miraculously they allow you to have the same options that they do on PC with sliders and all that stuff. That's what the Pro stands for. That's like a PS5 computer based guy. Unless they do something like that, the developers are still going to have a capped frame rate. It's going to be locked and all that other stuff. So PS5 Pro does sound enticing, I'll be honest with you, but I would be losing out on the ecosystem that I really like, and I'd be losing out on Game Pass as well. Microsoft is genius in the way they're doing it with the PC realm, because I could stop gaming on the Xbox console and switch over to PC, and I still get to keep my Xbox ecosystem, and I still get to keep Game Pass. The difference is now I also gain the PC freedom, the PC power, and everything else that comes with PC. So, would you get a PS5 Pro or would you get a gaming PC? It's completely up to you. If you're a console gamer and you want the best of the best no matter what, then sure, the PS5 Pro. Look, man, so why would you not trust that Sony's going to deliver at least somewhat of on their experience? I just don't know what games they're gonna have for it though. That's the only thing right now. We can be honest, right? Games wise, especially first party game wise, like what do we have right now? I don't know. And this thing's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year. We'll see. I don't know. If you don't have a PS5 already, hold on to the end of this year and see what happens with the PS5 Pro. Because if a PS5 Pro does come out, then a lot of people are going to be trading into PS5 and you're going to be able to get a PS5 probably for dirt cheap. So just hold on. Or you could go ahead and just go from a PS4 to a PS5 Pro. Or if you have a PS4 Pro, go to a PS5 Pro. And maybe you'll be the one that's the smartest person out of all of us gamers. So we'll see. I don't know, man. It's a very weird conundrum. I saw people saying, what if they bundle it with GTA 6? Oh, my Lord. Well, GTA 6 comes out next year, right? If they bundle a PlayStation 5 Pro with GTA 6 and they're saying that this is the only way that you could play it at 60 frames, boy, that's wild, because it's not even coming out for PC when it first drops. That'd be a smart move. Then I saw somebody else get really disrespectful and say, what if they bundle the PS5 Pro with Starfield and it runs at 60 frames? Boy, I went ahead and I blocked that person. I don't got time to deal with that. That's too much stress for me. But in all seriousness, let's see what Sony does with this. Dog 1985, there's levels to this. Damn, this is tough, because I do like the Xbox ecosystem and I do like Game Pass. Put Game Pass on the PS5 Pro, then we're talking. We out. Peace.